What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Why? Well, members get exclusive content. Hit the bell icon on my channel so that you will receive a notification every time that I drop a video, and you can go and check the video out. Leave a like, leave a comment. Check out my past videos as well, and leave a like and leave a comment on all of my old videos. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Let's get into it. What started the beef, the 45-year-old beef between the A-Trade Gangstas and the Rollin 60's? This beef has not stopped yet, even though efforts are being made to put a cease to this decades-long beef. What started it? Well, according to Melvin Farmer, a co-founder of the A-Trade Gangsta Crips, he helped start the gang. It was over an unaliving that happened in 1979. This started the war with the A-Trade Gangstas and the Rollin 60's. I'll let him explain. Let's get into it. What happened, Melvin?
Well, in 1979, along with Tookie's arrest, was the start of the A-Tray Rollin 60's war.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know the guys involved in the original altercation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I understand the whole thing was over a girl.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain?
It was over a girl. Man, so many people in the cemetery over a woman. All due respect to women, but this war's been going on since 1979. We a few days away from 2025. 46 years. You know how many people have lost their lives in this war? And it was started over a female? Really?
The story?
Well, at that time, prior to that, Big Rick brother got killed in March '79. When I went to jail is when this started escalating, because when I moved on 60 on 10th Avenue, so we had a relationship with them. Then they got into a fight. A guy from 9-0 Gangsta or whatever, he ended up shooting Big Rick brother, which is Tyrone. And I had been knowing Tyrone since he was 7 or 8 years old at that time. So Tyrone get killed.
And Tyrone's from the Rollin 60's.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But the guy that killed him wasn't from A-Trade Gangster. He was from 9-0. So at that time they wanted to turn this guy in, and they were telling them, we can't do that. We have nothing to do with it at that time. And then it just escalated from there, because now I had went to jail. They didn't actually start war until 1980, because they didn't know each other like that after I left. I was the common glue because I stayed on 10th Avenue. When I moved off 83rd and Western, I moved on 63rd and 10th Avenue. And when I moved on 10th Avenue, over there they were bishops. Not the 60's, they had bishops, Lucky in them, but they also end up having neighborhood, is what they started off as. And actually I got into a confrontation with Lucky, to where me, Barefoot Pookie, I'm getting dropped off from school one day, and I see a group of men at this other end of this party. This is when I first moved over there. And I asked them where they from. And they say, we're bishops. So I say, are you East Side bishops? Like the East Side bishops? Because I never heard no West Side bishops. And they say, yeah. And my exact words was, don't be here tomorrow. And them all came. I stayed where I stayed. They left. And then the Rollin 60's appeared. and already were in place because they were a spinoff from the West Side anyway. So that's when the 60s started. Mm-hmm.
Well, I interviewed Big U, and he was around during this whole time. I'd seen some other interviews where basically he was describing how these fights would start to escalate. And before that time, there really was not, number one, there weren't a lot of murders, and Crips and Bloods really weren't shooting at each other like that.
Where it wasn't a lot of murders.
Between Crips.
No, not at that time.
At that time, yeah.
But they always had been internal murders. But at that time, they were still Blood versus Crips. This changed the whole landscape in 1980, you're correct. But it was a lot of, 72, 73, 74, 75, there were a lot of murders.
Well, Big U said that the C was born in 69, but was split in 79. So now you have a situation where he said it was the first Crip-on-Crip rivalry in LA history.
That was one of them. The first Crip-on-Crip rivalry was the Hoovers and the Hundreds.
Okay.
See, you got West Side, East Side, Compton, and then the Hoovers came. And a lot of Crips didn't like them. So at that time, when we start going
Say it ain't so.
into sets, you had the Hoovers, the Gangstas, and the 60's creating the Bermuda Triangle. We were all together.
Uh-huh.
So the Hoovers also have been fighting since 74 internally, but it just didn't start to get publicly and go big to where it split right down the middle, like Big U say. That's when it really parted ways, the Red Sea, in which we had to stand in today.
Right. And he said that split, that beef between the A-Tray Gangsters and the Rollin 60's Crips.
Why is everyone spiraling over YouTube banning ad blockers? Like, chill guys, just use Pi. It's a free Chrome extension that's actually made.
Crippin' started in 69. This is when they say the C was born. Mm-hmm. The C was born in 69, but in 79 the C was split up. And more than it was a beef with the Rollin 60's and the A-Tray Gangsters, it split up LA.
Yeah.
Like when the Rollin 60's and the A-Tray Gangsters started fighting, it split LA in half.
It split the nation. Split LA, split continents to this day. That split it. Pretty much you were allies with them, or either you were allies with us.
Well, he also said it became an arms race.
It became like an arms race. And it changed LA. And what people don't understand is it changed LA in the fact that where now you had to either decide you was gonna be with the neighborhood car or you was gonna be with the gangster car. And it split the gangs of LA up.
Yeah, everyone had to take sides at that point.
Everyone had to take sides.
Yeah.
What started to change as that started to escalate?
Well, I was doing time in prison, and since I never got involved in it, I can't describe what was happening because I don't know nothing about Crip on Crip. That's a different era.
Right.
See, I'm proud of that. See, I never left home. I'm strictly Blood versus Crips. So that's a different era. So I don't know about no arm race. All I know is the violence got real quick, actually for 40-something years.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the most deadliest rivalries in there, but by the grace of God, since I knew both of them from they seeds, I stayed out the way. I didn't take this side, and I didn't take that side or try to hurt. I wouldn't take my skills. I just stopped gangbanging actually at 17.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't go against these dudes that I had been going with. Now I'm going to turn around because of a thing, and they started sets. See, everybody I grew up with started sets. They didn't join those sets. That's a big difference. Like when you say OG, I don't like to be called OG because they say original gangster. I'm an original Crip. We started that term, then the black exploitation films started coming out with Jim Brown and all them, and they were called OGs. See how you got original gangsters?
Right.
But OG actually started from the Crips, which stood for original Crips, original members. And so it's been watered down a little bit when you say OG.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I saw an interview with OG Hunchy from the A-Trays. And he said that the A-Tray Rollin 60's war, he said it was the dumbest war in the world because it started with two teenagers fighting over a female.
He was there.
He was there.
That's why I refer to them. I was in jail, but they hadn't been into it then. Hunchy, Sidewinder, Rayford, Big Rick, Odie Shaw, they all got into a conflict over there, and that's how that went about. He was actually there. Him, Baycott, Sidewinder, all them. So,
We've got passion. We've got.
Okay, y'all, there y'all have it. That's Melvin Farmer, as y'all can see, the co-founder of the A-Tray Gangsta Crips. He said he stopped banging at 17 years old, so many years ago, because he didn't want to get involved in the war with the 60s and the A-Tray Gangsters. As you just heard, according to him and others, the beef started over two teenagers and a female, where a 9-0, who were gangsters at the time, so a 9-0 gangster, not to be mistaken with the A-Tray gangster, unalived a 60, Big Rick's brother, Tyrone. And it kicked off from there. So 1980, the war really started, and it's lasted, and it's ongoing. The war is ongoing between the A-Tray gangsters and the Rollin 60's, but again, they are making efforts, some of them at least, to end the war, which is admirable and I would say needs to happen. All of these wars need to end between our people. Senseless wars. But that's what started the war with the A-Tray gangsters and the Rollin 60's. We'll find out how some other hood beef started soon. I'll be back. And in the meantime, stay free, people.